Do you think that this show is deserved of all the hate that it's getting at the moment? I see the term Game of Thrones Season 8 and this in the same sentence.
Because The Boys was never as good as peak Game of Thrones. So the Game of Thrones ending's still the worst because of just how good Game of Thrones was.
The fall was greater.
Yeah, with The Boys, it's like, if we're being harsh, The Boys had one good season. It's the first season. But if we're being more it's 3 good seasons of TV.
Yeah.
The end of Game of Thrones is actually quite horrible and bad. This last episode had some good moments that felt true to the characters. The Huey and Butcher scene felt emotionally all right, and the ending with Huey kind of felt somewhat natural. Makes sense that guy would probably want to walk away from all that stuff after all his nightmare.
If we knew there was another season coming out, I don't think there'd be as much outrage. We would have just spoken about this like season 4.
Yeah.
Everyone just kind of talks about season 4 because it just happened. It wasn't as good as the others, but it kind of just happened.
This was the most like 4 people in a room just cutting to mid shots. Like there was no sense of like, what was really struggling for me is that we're told like they're rounding people up. We've got Homelander like camps, and basically anyone who has ever disparaged him online or has liked a Starlight post is getting thrown off in the gulag.
Or just murdered on the spot.
And we're not seeing that. And it's just crazy how one of Amazon's like flagship shows, it's like, because it's popular, we don't have to spend as much money on it because they're already going to come anyway, which is wild to me. Like, you think they'd actually go, oh, we're going to make this even bigger. Particularly with like, it's a superhero show, but yet we don't have any, like, in terms of like just the enjoyment of seeing superheroes punch each other. It's like probably the best fight's the Hero-gasm fight.
Yeah, they really stopped putting in effort after that. And I understand it's hard to get fight choreography and stuff, but come on, you don't think The Boys had enough money?
It's just always crazy to me that Homelander's someone who can fly and move that quick, but yet this guy never even thinks to fly. I mean, they try to make it, his character is lazy, but you just think that this guy would, in any situation, would float 10 feet above the ground and just laser people.
I think what actually makes it worse is the fact that Invincible was happening at the same time.
Yeah.
You see like Omni-Man and stuff and Mark and like, oh, that's what a guy who can fly and has super strength can
actually
do.
Does.
Homelander has that plus more.
Really, the show should have ended with season 3, because by the end of this, dynamic-wise, we're in the exact same spot we were at the end of season 3, except Kimiko was Soldier Boy.
Yes.
It's that a few tweaks and season 3 could have ended here. It would have been better for it as a show, as a series.
2 people holding Homelander while a chest beam is being charged.
Yeah.
The same chest beam, by the way.
For a guy who's so laser happy, who loves having powers, it's crazy that in that moment, he didn't think, oh, she's about to use her power, I best laser her and just stop her from doing that.
The inconsistent laser beams, which sometimes can cut her in half. This one, I don't even know if it burnt a hole in her shirt.
And his inconsistent speed, it's like you forget that he also has super speed, but we saw it last episode.
He like teleports to Frenchie.
Yeah, so you think that in any fight, he's doing like an Albert Wesker.
Yes.
But with super strength as well. He wouldn't be the most proficient fighter, but he doesn't have to be because he's already faster and stronger than anyone. So he
Hence
can just
why he's like a bit chubby as well.
Yeah. I suppose we'll go through the characters. The main thing is that Billy Butcher has been this way for a while now. It's kind of weird because last season he was having the whole like mental demons. But this is just kind of just been... I think they try to have him be back to just being good old Billy again. But I think the problem with the character and the whole show is that its shtick got old a few years ago.
I think it's hard to watch a character, especially like Butcher. You'd stop trusting him after the 4th double cross, maybe 5th double cross. Every season has 2 or 3 double crosses from Butcher where it's like, you led us to this for what?
Yeah, he's a loose cannon all the time.
Wild card, bitches!
It was a cool character trait up until season 3, but then he does it a lot in season 4 because the mental stuff is happening.
Like in season 1, Huey, he like makes it seem like all of this is more official than what it is. Like, I'm with CIA, but it's like The Boys was originally a funded project by the CIA to keep an eye. Yeah, it's just like a weird, like he's always lying to people. That's his whole thing.
Yeah. And I get it. It's because they love him and like they're all they have and they're all like united under this cause.
When we started, yes, it's a bit cheap. Yes, we're just cutting to mid shots of characters, but things are sort of moving along. We're trying to figure out the drug thing and he's trying to get the V1. Okay, cool. Then we had the whole Vought Rising prequel, like, hey, we're going to see these characters again in like a year. But they emphasized V1 so much. I mean, you ignore the fact that the ending of that episode where he gets the super rays.
Yeah.
The boys just kind of walked away.
they're like, run
I expected the next episode to like continue on
from
that.
there. Yeah. Or them running through the forest.
Yeah, trying to get away from him. And they're not clear on what V1 actually did to him, because he's already the strongest superhero, like he was being up Soldier Boy, who is V1. So I was very confused, like, is this meant to give him a general boost or just immortality?
Just makes him immune to the virus.
Yeah, and makes
immortal.
him immortal. They invent the virus because it has to be a threat to Homelander, but then Homelander has to get V1 to negate the virus. So then when we're going in, all that stuff like just stops meaning anything.
The virus is still a threat, by the way.
Yeah.
Even though they didn't see Soldier Boy pop back up at the end of the episode, they thought it killed Soldier Boy.
Put him down for a bit.
And it put him down for a while.
Yeah.
For them to like get out of there, a team to come, bag him up, and then put him in like the ambulance. They don't think that would have been helpful when they're trying to kill a guy who's now a god. You don't think you could use 5 minutes of him being knocked out? Because they already went through all of the stuff of, we need to use this, we can't use this, we need to use this. They settled on we need to use this, and then the reason they didn't ultimately is because he got the V1.
It's weird because I think there's probably people who expected, I mean, like, look, for seasons we've been hearing scorched earth. And I'm sure you've been seeing the AI fan edits that people have been doing of like, yeah, I mean, there's a version of this show where season 5 is like World War V, like Homelander and his chosen of now, you know, it's like Civil War with superheroes, and this is where we're at. We've flipped the game board, and this is where the finale is. It's like a doomsday situation. Yeah. But no, it's all just stayed the same. And I think I was hoping that would maybe have saved the show is like, no, Homelander does win. He kills everyone, and we finally get to see him cook.
I would have
completely.
loved a good subversion.
Yeah, like Brightburn type stuff where he's just killing everyone because fuck it. Yeah, no, there wasn't that subversion, particularly when it was called Homelander Reboots the Universe. Because when you saw that Homelander was killed, and I checked the time, I was like, there's half an hour. I for a second thought they were going to like bullshit us and have it be that all this was some kind of like dream. And obviously Homelander was going to win real easy. Because they started doing an assault on the White House, and it's really easy.
But this boy's review is late. I think I'm going to unsubscribe from the channel.
No, I'll fucking suck your dick, Ollie. I'll eat shit. I'll subscribe to Burger Bit.
Deal.
Yeah, you know the ending's bad when people are glazing the comic, which is famously, you know, and I'm sure it has its fans.
When season 1, 2, and 3 was happening, the narrative was like, oh, don't even read the comic. Like, it's like nothing compared to this. But now I'm hearing people talk about the comic way more now that season 4 and 5 are out. People are like, it's actually a much better and truer story.
Yeah, it's a better ending.
You know what I really dislike is we didn't really get the character of America. Or like the world. Like,
how's the world reacting to this?
Season 1, 2, and like 3 did a good job of being like, people are scared and people are fans and stuff. And then season 4, like, they very quickly just like got that all out because I guess paying like 40 extras is a lot of hard work.
That was the charm of the show, is which the show has lost. It's like Invincible is like, hey, we love superhero stories, so here's another superhero. We're playing on the tropes you like. But The Boys is, if superheroes did exist, it would be like this. They'd be ran by a $1 billion conglomerate. They'd have movies.
They'd be power hungry. They'd be kind of crazy.
Yeah, they'd be weird. Yeah, it would be this. They'd have agents. It would be all that. And so, yeah, it's bringing superheroes into the real world. And, yeah, they're fucked up because, of course, they are. But that exploration of that, yeah, it's abandoned by the end of season 3. Because, I mean, people are bringing up now how, like, Homelander season 1 is quite intelligent. He's the first guy to know translucent is missing. He's already working towards that stuff. He just seems to be more put together, and obviously characters have to change. But this season, just the whole, he genuinely believes he's the son of God. I mean, other than the one scene with the legend who gives him that, like, straight talk. Like, that's the only, like, highlight, and it was mainly because of the legend just telling him straight, like,
yeah,
that's talent. You know, like, life happens, fucking move on. Other than that, it was pretty disappointing because I always think Homelander's probably the most interesting character.
Yeah, like you're coming back just to really watch how Homelander's going to wrap this up.
But he was probably his most uninteresting this season.
Yeah.
The plane crash of season 1 that Starlight threatened Homelander with in season 2 or 3, and he has that grey. Yeah, do it. Let's light this candle. I'll take out the power supply. I'll do this.
I love those edits. First thing I'm going to do is take out like all the infrastructure, the fuel reserves, this and that. And you're like, oh.
Yeah, the idea that he would have thought about this. It's true. For a guy with that level of power, you really just going to allow them to like handcuff you and take you away to prison? Fuck no.
This isn't Hancock, motherfucker.
Yeah, Hancock. Exactly. Like the rules literally don't apply to him if he doesn't want them to. It's this season they release it early on, and Firecracker's like, that was AI.
Those Starlighter terrorists, they have used AI intelligence.
But then she released that knowing that threat. So then it's like, oh, well, I guess that was nothing then.
But do you know what's also crazy is they also threatened Firecracker with her own video. And she's like, okay, do it. So we get her being like, okay, release the video. And then he's like, and then they release his video and nothing comes from either of them.
I don't understand, because we've lost it, like why anyone is even liking, why like does he even have supporters anymore? Like, because in the early ones they were going for that like bro manosphere thing, that he's like the pinnacle of man, and all these white men really like the fact that he can just go no and laser your head off.
And incels. Big
Yeah,
on, like,
the incel
incels.
thing. Well, I think that's also is that this show, what was it, 2019 season 1 came out, so it's been around for a bit of time. So the cultural conversation has kind of changed a bit.
I think it was season 2 or 3. One episode was about like a cashier at a bodega who would like watch the superhero stuff every day and go home. He's watching on his phone, he's watching on the news, and he's working his same monotonous life. And then he like shoots somebody.
He's racist, yeah. He like makes that choice.
The show stopped doing, like, I understand he loves his messages and allegories for real world stuff.
Yeah.
That felt like it was done like smartly, if you can call it that, even though I hated the idea of it, because it feels there's effort in it.
Yeah.
If there's effort in it, I can appreciate it, even if I hate it. You know, it's like a bad movie done well. The newer season stuff just feels so lazy and quick. Like it's like a quick reference and a quick quip.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, no, like, you know, you lost the charm of making fun of something.
You know, like those early seasons where it's like having fun, like with the VCU, where like you got the Deep announcing the new Vought projects and go to Vought Plus. Like it's completely abandoned that stuff. The spoof nature of it is completely gone, and it's actually ended up becoming the thing that it was spoofing, this like self-serious superhero story with 2 spin-offs in the works. Be sure to come on back next year.
And it's all just done to tell a message.
Yeah.
That's what their movies are for, but that's what the boys ended up becoming.
Yeah, I suppose we also can't ignore the fact that Gen V has 2 seasons with like, even though they're, I mean, I didn't even finish season 2 of Gen V, but with the background thing of, oh, it'll mean something, you know, so for those who have watched it, you'll really enjoy. And I guess I understand if you've just been watching The Boys, the idea of coming to season 5 and there's Marie Monroe's now going to be this vital part to the plan. But I think that might have been better than what we got, where it's like, if you are a fan of Gen V, this is ridiculous for these characters.
Hold on, that's it?
To literally just be packed off and sent to Canada, like, pack your shit, you're done, is the direct line. They don't do anything. They don't offer any aid whatsoever.
And they were all very strong soups. Like Marie, by the end of season 2, like, she can bring people back from the dead.
She survives Homelander's, like, blast at the end of season 1.
They wrote her own thing where she was from the same, like, trials as Homelander, like the Odessa Project or whatever that was. But also, it's like Sam, the guy who's, like, kind of crazy, is like, he's like probably the strongest as far as like power.
Doesn't even show
like
up.
Soups. There's the girl who can literally take over people's minds and can do it to Soups as well.
They just don't show up.
What probably started as one of like the best characters in the show, Huey. He was a great little character insert.
A normal guy.
A normal guy who's been like thrust into this position. How quickly is he going to take on, not brainwashing from these guys, but like these guys have been through the trenches. They've been shell shocked by like the war with the Soups. And then he's gone through this traumatic thing. And his whole thing is he going to let it change him, or is he going to keep his like, you know, humanity?
Yeah.
As soon as he like actually gets with Starlight, I feel like that's when his character actually goes down. So like very early.
And this season, him and Starlight has been so fucking boring. Like there's absolute boring. Like she's done nothing, he's done nothing. I think all the characters have kind of been sat around doing not much. I mean, you know, we all kind of expected Frenchie to go because we were just doing too much of the when all this is over. Like, you know, it's my week of retirement type stuff. It's like, yeah, okay, we'll see you then, French.
I finally confessed of all the evils I've ever done, and you've accepted me, and there's like no more trauma. Because I feel like Frenchie's big thing was like, there's always that next secret that you're going to find out, and that's going to be the one that ruins it.
What's wild is that because these shows exist, like, I know Frenchie had some whole subplot history.
That was
Kimiko has a sister thing, you know, all these plot points that existed because we best give them something to do. It's weird that they really don't mean anything by the end of it.
Frenchie's side story of being like a hitman for like an Armenian mob, Russian mob. He was the one who killed the family of his gay lover.
Doesn't mean anything.
Just make him my heroin addicted chemist of the group.
Yeah, it's really odd. Like the amount of stuff they do that then doesn't mean anything. I'm like, I bet if I went back and watched all these seasons, I'd be like, oh yeah, this whole thing happened.
And thank God they put some of Kimiko's stuff back in there about her being like a child soldier.
Yeah.
Which I don't think they mentioned at all in season 4. It stopped becoming her character.
It's hard to be mad at it because it is just so kind of like disappointing and boring. Mm-hmm. The Sister Sage thing, like in order to prove that Kimiko's power works, we sacrifice Sister Sage. Mm-hmm. She becomes a moron. And at first I thought it was kind of funny since she has never actually technically had to use her brain naturally because her power has been her brain. So the idea of her losing a power means that her brain has never actually had to function on a normal level. So she's like really stupid. But that's actually kind of sad. It's not joyous. It means that you're an adult who hasn't actually had to, but whatever.
I guess it's the same theory as like, that's why Homelander's weak when he loses his powers is because his muscles have never been like trained. He has stock arms.
He's never had to have like moral strength. He's always known that he's the strongest. So like that level of it. I still don't really know how I feel about how we got rid of Homelander. Mm-hmm. I think we all quite like him as a character. And I think that fight is goddamn awful.
Horrible
fight. Yep. Particularly when, we talk about powers. When just 10 minutes ago, our man flew Elon Musk into space and back in 2 seconds. Mm-hmm. We're then going to have him like slowly launch off at Kimiko.
Yes.
It's like, and he's knowingly aware that she's going to be the power dampener. So then you're going, well, hang on. And we've seen him 2 seasons ago pull off Soldier Boy and Temp V, Billy Butcher and Huey, push them off and launch a guy with this many powers, he would blitz them so easily. So I guess we just simply won't have him do that. Mm-hmm. They don't invent a reason like, the Soundwave attempt to like, we can like throw the virus at him and he like fights through it, but we'll slow him down. No, they've done it.
Yep. No, we've seen him like within 2 episodes time, how fast he can be flying. And you're like, oh, okay, maybe his flying isn't that good. No, we see that. But he's also super fast on his feet as well.
Yeah.
He has like Quicksilver Flash type speed. Him versus A-Train. He's keeping up with A-Train.
And did you watch the animation stuff?
No.
They had like The Boys Diabolical and some of them were canon and one of them is Homelander's first save. And in that, he like uses super speed to collect all the bad guys' guns.
And that's the trouble with bad writing and power scaling. God, doesn't this feel like deja vu?
Yeah.
Is your character is only as strong or weak as your horrible writer needs them to be?
Yeah.
And it's like, no. He flies across the room, but then when you do it in practicality, he can't reach her. And it's enough time for Butcher to be like, oh my God, he's flying towards her. Shoot a tentacle which wraps around his waist and to pull him back. Butcher's tentacles have never been shown to have super speed.
The laser that can cut through Kimiko, but now it's just
cut through her.
Yeah.
Chopped her up.
I mean, it looked a lot stronger when he was having his little orgasm of V1, so...
It doesn't even like burn through her clothes.
Right.
Like it doesn't even burn her down to a midriff top. It doesn't even take her top off.
Is that just so many moments of like picks up Billy and they go through the ceiling, but they bounce off the ceiling when he would obviously just launch through it.
Yes.
And you think that would be his main goal. The moment there's anyone in there who could take his powers away, he's like, oh, well, I would rather fly away. I'll just go away and I'll fight another day.
I'll shoot you from orbit.
I'll go up and laser you from up here.
He doesn't care about anybody in the White House, even if they're like his most trusted confidants.
Yeah.
He would rather have blown up the White House, dealt with the aftermath, but all his enemies are gone.
That fight is bullshit, but then obviously he loses his powers. The way he's always launched to fly is stupid, so they have that.
Flying like
because he's pushing off air. I get it.
Do you think it's a problem with writing the strongest? There's a great video on YouTube. Go and watch it. It's called How to Write the Strongest. There needs to be consistency. And you can't hold back once you show feats of somebody.
Yeah, you can't.
That's why anime is so good.
The fight's bullshit, even as like a bit... It's like, I love Heroes, but when we have Peter Petrelli and Sylar finally fight each other, it's just punching outside of a building. Like when people are expecting like a telekinetic, like Chronicle level battle, it's just 2 guys punching each other. And with this, it's like, one guy's basically this world's Superman, and no one else can even touch him on that level. So how are we going to have it even seem like a fair fight? And I think they rely so much on like Homelander's laziness. But the fight ends, he loses his powers, and for the first time, he truly is weak. Billy beats the shit out of him, and I guess it's meant to be that he's someone who's never really had true affection. Mm-hmm. And he thinks the only way of showing affection is to be like a weird loser. So it ends with him begging and crying. I'm just saying it's like a kid screaming, "It's not fair."
Yeah.
Going like, "I'll suck your dick. I'll eat shit on camera for you."
I don't think it was that at all. I think it was the Joker 2 effect. We need to kill this hero of the incels in the most degrading way possible. I don't think they were thinking about his character at all.
What he represents.
I can see him being like, oh, once they kick Trump out of the White House, he's going to be groveling for his power back, and he's going to be doing anything for it.
Yeah,
he's going to be groveling, and he'll be doing anything. You know, and I'm like, that's what his allegory is right here. I wouldn't even want to talk about this.
I was going to say, we need to touch on this.
No thanks.
So Annie, her power's always a bit weird. I mean, there's that amazing moment in season 3 where it looks like she's about to do like a Kamehameha, but it's just an even bigger flash of light. It's went from being like light to it's like electricity.
Now she's Cole McGrath.
I was going to say, she's infamous.
Sad we didn't get an announcement. That's okay, Sony.
Give me my remaster. She takes the Deep 50 miles outside of Washington to the nearest beach.
We Googled it.
Not only is it a disadvantage for her because she's going away from power sources, it's also giving him a potential advantage because he's got the sea over there. So you can escape to it. He can call on his ocean friends.
And we get it. People are like, but he's not in the water, so he doesn't have an advantage. She blasts him into the water in the same fight. How would she expect to finish him once he's in there?
Yeah. The Deep is a weird character. He's kind of fun, though. He's played wonderfully by the actor. I thought he would always be a guy
from Gossip Girl.
who just kind of like, he'd walk through the end just being such a moron.
Yes.
That no one thinks about.
He's like the Homer Simpson of...
Yeah, he gets through it. It's the Donald Glover community meme, like pizzas with the fire and everything. He's a weird character because in this season, he's so addicted to just wanting everything, wanting Homelander's love. I do also think that he would be a character who would eventually just go, this isn't worth it. And he would strip off naked and do the Kanye West gay fish South Park thing and just dive in the water and just go and be...
He should have gotten the Sage ending.
Probably 2 seasons ago.
The Deep lived, and it's like, yeah, but there's no threat to the Deep living, It's like...
Yeah, like he's just going to go down and fuck fish for the rest of his life.
Like, imagine if the ending was like, every soup died because they released the virus. It's like, except for the Deep because it can't transmit through the water. And the boys are like, not even a problem. Let him enjoy it. Like, he's not a problem.
The fish fucker can, I know it's all dumb, but like, I assumed the Deep could swim at a decent speed. Like, going underwater, he could probably, like, in Aquaman, it's like he's like flying underwater.
Yeah.
So, but in this, it was like just a regular dude swimming in the sea.
Yes.
Like,
when Annie blasts him into the water, he like, he gasps for air. He has gills. No more deep talk.
I think if someone was to binge this, they would probably notice that there was a dip in season 4 and 5. Like, you think it was like the budget was cut.
Hear me out here. Someone re-edits it, redoes it so that at the Hero-gasm fight, he gets blasted.
Yeah, and
he gets killed.
Might as well have been.
But then Butcher he wants to go one step too far and he wants to kill them all. And then they have to put him down.
I think knowing how bad 4 and 5 was, I'd probably just make season 3 the end and change 1 or 2 things. I mean, the one who gets away with the most is Maeve, right? Just walked away with her girlfriend in season 3 and that was it. He has like a working relationship with Maeve. Like, they maybe were dating just for the cameras, but not really. There's a bit where there's like a gunman and they're just talking casually about like the politics or the points in the company. The cop's like, hey, Homelander's here. He goes, you're the real hero, champ. While they're just talking about their job. And he flies up there. She gets the lift. He continues talking to her. It's very like Pulp Fiction. And it's just one guy with a gun. And they just use it as the opportunity. Like, he finally gets to kill someone without anyone around. So he gets to enjoy it. And then they have to go, well, it's my turn to shoot you for like defense. Like, he was firing at us. None of the saves are real anymore. That's the whole thing that annoyed me. We brought it up is that in season 1, there's all these scenes about we want this hero in this town for this contracts. And in season 3 or 4, it's revealed that all of it's WWE. It's all pretend.
I think they misspoke in their own show, and I think they just mean that
A-Train says he's never saved a real person. He's never
saves.
It's wild, isn't it? But like, surely they would really be saving people. I'd say it was like the most like 5 out of 10 season of a show I've ever watched, but it's made worse because it's the end of something and it's the end of a somewhat culturally significant superhero product of the last like 10 years. And it's just like kind of went out like a bit of a quiet, wet fart. Like, it's just nothing. It wasn't so bad I can get really annoyed about it, but then it wasn't good at all. It's just like the end to a show. Unlike Game of Thrones, which I do think is the worst ending, Game of Thrones at least got bigger in scale by the end. Like, it got nicer cameras and not like the Battle of the Bastards is a great fight, is a great sequence. With this, though, It's like we didn't even get the scale of it. It's like you really couldn't afford just one Homelander crash out.
Yeah.
Like, and I do think I would have liked it just to have the balls to go, no, Homelander wins, fuck you. Obviously he was going to win. You can't beat Superman. At the end.
Good doesn't have to win. That was the point of the thing.
Yeah, it's like Trump's still in power, isn't he? Like, you know, so your Al Gore, you kind of has to end with the guy won.
If there was another season to look forward to, like the final season, that this would be
World War V.
This would be just an average 5 out of 10. Yeah, some stuff happened. I can't believe, he's actually in power now and they made him the new god. But it loses points for me because it was the end of the boys arc, whether they do 17 spin-offs with some of these characters and flesh out some of the stuff they feel they didn't cover. What is the boys, the cultural phenomenon, ended on a wet fart? The 5 drops to like a 3 for me. Just because I'm so angry, and talking about it now made me angry again.
I'll suck your dick. I'll subscribe to Bergenbeard.